Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot and to another episode of Are They Trustworthy? So basically how this works is you think of a particular person in your life and you intuit to which pile they are most energetically aligned, and then we see what we get from that particular pile. I'll explore each pile. I've got 4 piles here: pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. And I feel that the subject of whether or not someone is trustworthy is extremely important. So I've compiled a whole playlist dedicated to this topic, and I do the same 4 pile readings and then delving into the personality types of 4 different types of people, and then you intuit which one is correlated to a particular person to figure out whether or not they're trustworthy. But if you go to the playlist that I have on this channel, in the playlist section, you'll find other of these readings. So maybe they might correlate to another one of these readings. So yeah, it's very important to determine whether or not a person is trustworthy, because that determines, the kind of people that we bring into our life is extremely important in regards to the course in the direction that our life goes. So this is why I feel that this topic is quite important for picker card readings. So pile 1, make your selection now. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and let's get started. All right. Hello, pile number 1. We've got the question is this particular person trustworthy? And let's see what the cards get. Or what the cards say. So pile number 1, are they trustworthy? Is the person in your life trustworthy? Let us see. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Interesting. Let's tune into what we get into this pile. Let's make sure, I'm going to make sure it's all neatly ordered. And I'm getting that, yeah, in most cases, the energy that I get is that this person they tend towards an energy of trustworthiness. That's what I get. But I just got this image, the Queen of Swords in the center. I got that they tend towards the trustworthy energy. That's what I get. They're like, like the percentage that popped up was 85% trustworthy. But I got that you may not necessarily trust them. I see that you being the Queen of Swords, and I'm hearing that you may not be trusting of this person because you kind of had a past life interchange with them, which is not okay. Get my cat out of the way. Because you had a past life interchange with them that was not very fun, where they did some sort of betrayal. They did some sort of betrayal to you in a past life, and you don't quite know why you feel this defensiveness towards this person. And I'm hearing that in most cases they tend to be a trustworthy person. They tend to be sort of a grounded person, but you're not quite sure if you can trust them, because I'm hearing in a past life they very much they betrayed you in some way, or they did something that was very nefarious. I hear like I heard torture. They may have tortured you in a past life or betrayed you. This is very much the energy of betrayal, or cheated on you, betrayal. Yeah, very much an energy of betrayal from it. But I'm getting a past life issue. But I'm getting that they're mostly trustworthy. I get that they're very much they tend towards to being sort of an empty person though, and there's always searching for something outside of themselves. Like they've got, and I'm hearing that this is kind of, you pick up on this energy. They've got a bit, like I'm hearing they've got something a little bit wrong with them emotionally, and I'm hearing that you kind of it immediately goes back to this past life. You picked it up. So I'm hearing that they kind of have something a little bit off with them emotionally, and that somehow you connect with them in this, it triggers you to remember this past life, so you're not sure if you can trust them. But I'm hearing they generally have a sense. I got 85% trustworthy. Like they tend to have a relatively strong moral compass in this life, like a kind of a grounded energy, but they've also got kind of an empty energy, like an empty energy of kind of like maybe led them to do some of these things in a past life. They kind of did these kind of this emptiness that from a past life that kind of led them to do these things in a past life. They kind of they kind of have something a little bit emotionally wrong with them. I hear it in this life too, which kind of relates to the past life. So, but you feel quite defensive around this person. I see with the Queen of Swords reversed, so it's like and then we've got the Ace of Swords. I hear you may want to create some sort of clarity with this person, but kind of cutting through the debris. Like maybe you may want to ask to get some images to what happened in a past life with this person, or an inner knowing. Like you may have an inner knowing of it already, but you may want to just practice like automatic writing, some sort of channeling to figure out what this past life issue was with this particular person, and then you may have greater clarity and a way to either a conversation you have with them could be the case, but it also you may be able, you by going to this past life issue, you may be able to know how to like to see this person in a more clear light. I hear that you're kind of picking up some pieces of this person. You're picking up like some pieces about this person, and but not you're not maybe not picking up the whole picture, because I hear that you're intuitive and you pick things up, but you're clouded from a past life. You're kind of clouded from a past life, and so you basically you basically feel that you may not I'm hearing that you may not know that this person has a very deep hole inside of them that they're always trying um, to fill, but they're also they're kind of a grounded person too. Ow, ow, ow! Don't do that! Don't do that! My cat is distracting me. But no, no, no. So yeah, you just need to um, you need to sort of I hear they need to have clarity, and they may need to have clarity about you too, because they're not quite clear about you either, I hear. But you may need to sort of see like to sit down with yourself and figure out, okay, where who is this person really, and who are they really, I hear. You may want to sort of um figure that out. Who are they really, and how much of this past life energy is influencing how I see them now? Because I'm hearing they tend towards trustworthiness, but you may want to figure out, okay, who exactly is this person in relation to who they were in a past life, and and then I hear that great clarity and great inner knowing come together with self love on your part. You'll be able to, when you love yourself more, I hear, you'll be able to clearly see this person in their truest light. Once you love and accept yourself, you'll be able to see this person, because we've got the ace and then two aces, which connote newness, right? They can connote newness. So like you will be able to see this person in a new light when you clarify, when you love yourself more and clarify your own inner perceptions about who this person actually is. Okay, so that's all we got for pile number one. I hope you enjoyed that. You can check out my playlist section if you want and see if there's other topics. I've got a whole playlist dedicated to people's trustworthiness, karma, narcissistic abuse healing, dream analysis, pets, past lives, astrology. So yeah, you may want to check that out and see if it's worth it for you to subscribe to this channel. All right, I hope that was helpful to you. And now it is time for pile number two. Hello, pile number two. And let's see, is this particular person trustworthy? Ten of Cups, I'm hearing the Empress, Knight of Swords, King of Pentacles, and interesting. and Nine of Cups. Okay, let's see. I'm hearing that this person, they're most, they're hearing they're most untrustworthy when they're trying to get what they want. That's what I'm hearing. I hear that they heard the term hungry ghost. That's what I hear, and they have this massive need. I saw an image of a toad, and they have this massive need for wealth and abundance. We've got the King of Pentacles, the Empress on the side, and I'm hearing that they have a massive need for abundance, and they really don't like it when people get in their way. And when people, so I hear that when they're trying to, they overall, I mean, I'll tune in. That's the first aspect I'm getting, and I'll tune in if I get more aspects. So the first aspect is that I'm getting is that they tend to be very cutthroat, when they're trying to get what they want. They're very cutthroat when they're trying to get what they want, and they almost have this very aggressive, insensitive energy. Yeah, I heard good. That's right. Yeah, they have almost a aggressive, insensitive energy, and they're very adamant about having things be a certain way, and they really want to get what they want. And when they don't get what they want, they become very, or it takes too long. I see for the Empress. If it takes too long, or they don't feel like they get exactly what they want, like they become really kind of cutthroat or mean spirited. And I'm hearing this person, they kind of feel cut off from their family, is what I hear. They feel very cut off from their family. They're, and then they kind of, they have a side that kind of looks like I hear they kind of look very amiable and sociable. Like they look very amiable and sociable, but they can actually, I'm hearing they've got kind of a dark side that's, like I say, very cutthroat, very insensitive, very, I'm hearing a very harsh, arrogant, judgmental businessman who kind of looks down on people who don't have as much money, like they don't have much compassion for other people. So yeah, I'm getting they kind of have that energy, and they may have. I'm hearing that they do have some good characteristics. Like they may or may not, have some good characteristics, but they tend to, yeah, very cutthroat, very business oriented, and they kind of look. They're very judgmental. They look down on people who don't have the same wealth that they have, and they get very frustrated about not having wealth. Like instead, like, and they may be with the King of Pentacles, they may have developed wealth for themselves, or maybe not. They may be, shall we say, comfortable, and they're very, and I hear they're just a bit too proud of that, and I hear they have a very tendency to go towards the proud, arrogant, egocentric side. Like I hear they could really learn a lesson in, like, in humility, because when they get the Nine of Cups, instead of being, happy for it, and maybe you want to, because there's people who come from nothing, and then they accomplish something, and they're kind to poor people, and they give them money. They're good to people, but then this person, they tend to be, they like, I don't get a very strong spiritual sense of this person. This person, just a lot of arrogance and ego and all about accomplishment, and oh, those people that don't have anything, they're just not as good as I am, type thing. That's what I'm getting energy, and I don't really personally like that energy. But in terms to with evil, I don't think that they tend in most cases towards evil or too Machiavellianism, too much of that, but they do have like a very pompous, arrogant, and they get frustrated if their ego isn't stroked, or if they don't, like, if their ego isn't stroked, or they don't feel like that they're the king of the castle. And I hear them almost country club, like going, yeah, I'm getting kind of a snotty energy, like somebody who goes, like a guy who goes to a country club, and oh, they only associate with those people who who go to a country club, and yeah, they're only associated with people who 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 are at that country club. So they have a sort of a snotty air to them, to do with their wealth, and instead of like just being arrogant about their wealth, arrogant, or even I heard being arrogant about their education. Even that's what I got. Yeah, arrogant. Like they may have a master's degree or a PhD, and if if they have a master's degree or a PhD, it's like whatever they can, like arrogance, not true satisfaction but arrogant satisfaction is what I'm getting. And yeah, that I just heard, like if they have a PhD or an M, what do you call it, an MA, a master's degree or a PhD, or even any kind of education, you won't hear the end of it. I hear you won't hear whatever mountain they've climbed the top of with the King of Pentacles. You won't hear the end of it, and they feel that this gives them the right. Like, yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm not really particularly liking. Are they a serial killer? I don't think so. I don't think that they're. But I don't like just the overall energy of like just arrogance. Like, they feel that they can, because of their, yeah, I got degree arrogance, or even buck arrogance. Something, whatever they can latch on to be arrogant about, they'll do it. Rest assured. And they have this like an image of, yeah, just putting people down because they don't have the right education, or they haven't read the right books, or even spiritual arrogance. It's some sort of form of high arrogance, either with their wealth, their education, their spirituality, their the pedigree of, even like something like, I even hear, I saw this image of, like, when people are so proud. I'm not saying this is necessarily the case, but they're so proud of the pedigree of their dogs, like, or something like that kind of energy, right? Not saying it's exactly that, but like, oh, my poodle is the highest standard poodle, and it will win anyone at the competition, and you know that kind of thing, and then they'll, if they're proud of their kids, they had an education, or they're abundant, they'll be like, oh, they've done these wonderful things. But if not, like, they'll just kind of hide away their child if they're not proud of them. Like, so kind of a narcissistic vibe I'm getting, arrogant narcissistic vibe. So I'm not entirely sure what I feel about this person's trustworthiness, but I've described the energy of their personality, so I'm sure you can kind of figure out, well, is this person trustworthy? I won't say my judgment on this particular pile, I don't think, but all I will say is that I probably wouldn't want to, you know, I probably wouldn't want to spend a lot of time with this person, to put it nicely, to put it mildly. Kind of a arrogant energy, and to me, that kind of energy doesn't feel trustworthy to me. But we all have different. That's the energy that I'm picking up from this person. So yeah, and I got to go to the Gypsy Oracle deck, which I don't normally really do, but I'll see if I can get something. I got that I should get something else. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's see. We've got two pleasure seekers. Interesting. And I should get another card too to sort of clarify. Priest. Okay. Then I got in some cases, this could be a very arrogant. So in some cases, this could be a very arrogant, um, like religious. That's the element I missed. I got. They could also be a very religious, um, uh, person. The one other thing that they could be arrogant is about their religiosity, or their high spiritual piousness with the priest. They may even, who knows, they may even be a priest or a minister or something, someone who has some sort of clout in the church, and they really feel that this gives them a cut above the rest. They look down on lowly pleasure seekers, why they feel that they're above the rest. They're closer to God than most. So yeah, different things. They could be arrogant with their money, their religion is better than other people. Like their personal religion is better, and their religious nature is better than other people. Their money, even I got their job, their money, something their education, their children. Something is better. That has to be better. And in this case, again, in their element, this policy, look down with their religious standpoint or spiritual. They look down on pleasure. People who seek lowly pleasures, like heroin addicts, or not even that, but some sort of energy of looking down at people who who are less fortunate. They don't help those who are less fortunate. They and they look down on people of lower caliber, the pleasure seekers. I hear, this may be an energy from a past life. You're just looking down and they've got their religious arrogance. So yeah, I described it's kind of an arrogant, egotistical about one thing or another. So that's what I get for pile number 2. In terms of, is this person trustworthy? And that's the energy that I got. And I'll just say that I probably wouldn't want to spend a lot of time with this person, but that's the energy I got for, is this person trustworthy? I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know if it um, resonated in the comment section. Maybe give it a like. You can also check out my other playlist section. I've got a playlist dedicated to just the topic, are they trustworthy, along with a lot of other topics like karma, past lives, narcissistic abuse, healing, and a lot of other topics. So you may want to check that out and see if it's worth it for you to subscribe. So I hope you enjoyed that reading and have a good day. All right, hello pile number 3. Let's see what we get for the question. Are they trustworthy? Queen of Pentacles, gateway to medication, Queen of Pentacles again. That must be very significant. Surrounded by gateway to, oh wow, 3. We've got 3 female arcana, or not arcana, court cards. There's a 16 court cards in the deck, and then we've got the 3 of Wands. So I'm getting, the first thing I got from this is that this person actually has a tendency towards some sort of, I got the word psychosis. That's interesting. I got that the person, either they have a tendency towards psychosis or a very kind of paranoia, but they also have a tendency towards paranoia or psychosis, but they also have a tendency towards heightened intuition. Like they also quite intuitive as well, but they can really, what I'm hearing is that they kind of go a little bit too far in their, not too far, because I don't think you can go too far in terms of spirituality, but it's this energy of, they either, in some cases, I got in 20% of the cases, they actually have a tendency towards psychosis. But I don't think they're a bad person. I just don't think that they're sort of, they have a tendency, they can be very intuitive, I'm hearing. They definitely have an intuitive, creative side. They kind of go upwards with a gateway to meditation, and they can get information very easily. They're kind of connected. They may be connected to higher realms and creativity and spirituality, but they kind of can go into a sense of, but I mean, what is this reality anyway, right? I mean, I'm hearing they're not quite grounded in this reality, but then I heard, well, this reality is kind of strange, isn't it? Anyway, so, but that's what I get, is that yeah, they're not quite grounded with the Queen of Pentacles, and it's very significant. We've got 2 Queen of Pentacles here, so I'm hearing they're not quite grounded in this reality. They go up, which can be a good thing, but I'm hearing sometimes they go a little bit too far, and sometimes it goes into the land of sort of strangeness and paranoia a little bit. And the Queen of Swords in reversed. So I'm hearing that they tend to, a lot of emotionality. And so, because the Queen of Swords upright is somebody who's very, what's the word, like very kind of grounded, head above the clouds, she's there, head above the clouds. But in reverse, she's kind of a little bit, so I'm getting more of a female energy, although I'm hearing, yeah, it could be a male energy too. I'm hearing it could be like, it's like 70%, 75% female, 25% male, because there's definitely males like this too that kind of go upward and aren't grounded in reality. But it's sort of like this energy of, they're not grounded, and when they're not grounded, they can act, I'm hearing, in a way that others may not perceive as trustworthy. I'm hearing they act in a way sometimes that others may not, but they're at the core, their core character, they're not untrustworthy in their core. I'm hearing like they do have sound moral principles. So they have a core of trustworthiness, but I'm hearing sometimes when I'm hearing they can kind of they can kind of go off the deep end and accuse people of things that aren't real. I hear they can sort of accuse people. They can kind of go paranoid and psychotic a little bit. That's interesting. And ungrounded here, ungrounded, and not having the head above the clouds, having the head in the clouds, if you will. So I hear that they can have like wild accusations sometimes, and like just sort of like they say things that aren't quite grounded in reality. They're not grounded in reality, and um, yeah, I'm hearing something happen to like energetically sort of ruin this person's stability, and they never quite got it grounded, and they never quite got it grounded. The ideal is for them to be, I hear, the Queen of Pentacles upright, having some more stability in their life, but some sort of trauma happened to make them just ungrounded, go into this sort of almost. I'm hearing for some it's schizophrenia, for some it's kind of going into those lines, but they'd still get intuitive information, but it's sort of like a little bit sometimes distorted. I hear there's something a little bit distorted, and it's due to, yeah, like I'm hearing it's due to a lot like trauma of various sorts. Like that's what I'm hearing, like trauma that they've endured over their life of, you can imagine what that could be, just various sorts. And I'm hearing they okay, let's see what else. Let's let me see. I'm gonna see if I can get another card that can help clarify this. Okay, let's see so I'm hearing the Emperor. They're basically, when they feel that they don't have any stability in their life, they become very, very controlling. They become the negative emperor reverse. So you may know this person is being, quite controlling, and even like wildly, like they may just kind of, they're just trying to get control of their life. They're trying to get this grounding and stability. And when they don't have that, they just kind of, they go to the emperor in reverse, which is super controlling, very adamant about things being a certain way. They're very, they can become really controlling. And then they bubble up in a strange way. I hear they just bubble up, and you're just like, where did that come from? They just kind of have that energy of just switching on a dime and just being ungrounded, very ungrounded. And I hear they want to be grounded, but they don't know how to get that groundedness again. And I hear that for Three of Wands, if they were to move forward, and uh, if they get grounded, they can move forward. They could, if like, so they need to find their own groundedness. Is That's what I hear, because of the Three of Wands, like I hear the universe is offering them groundedness, but they don't know how to take it. They don't know how to resolve the issues that are going on inside of them. And so I hear you may want to just sort of set boundaries with this person in order to feel safe from them, just to, because you may not feel entirely safe around this person. And sometimes, that's understandable, right? Because I hear in some cases they may sometimes throw things, like they may throw things, or like they may in some cases become violent. I'm hearing in some cases. So you may want to keep yourself safe from, like, especially if it's, I mean, I'm hearing in some cases if it's well, male, guys tend to be more strong, right? So if you may want to, like, even if whatever sex it is, you may want to, some people are stronger than others, right? So if this I hear this person can kind of go like a little bit violent sometimes. I heard Amber Heard. Interesting. I heard Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. So, like, they may be that may be kind of the energy sometimes. Like just, it may be like kind of a woman who kind of goes a little bit angry and crazy sometimes, and that's not at all pleasant to be around. So I hear, yeah, protect yourself from this person, because they're kind of, they're just like, there's distorted thinking may be sometimes hard for you to take, right? They're distorted thinking, even though they're not a core bad person, I don't think. But they just they kind of the psychotic. They're kind of psychotic thinking can be a little bit much sometimes. That's what I hear, and they need to find they need to find their full groundedness to be the full embodiment of a trustworthy person. That's what I hear. So that was pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed that. Give it a like and let me know if this resonated for you. And yeah, and I've got a whole playlist about are they trustworthy, along with a whole bunch of other playlists like um, karma, narcissists, past lives, narcissistic abuse healing, astrology, a variety of different playlists. So you may want to check that out and see if the videos resonate with you, and if you would like to subscribe if they resonate with you. All right, so that's all we get for pile number 3. Now I hope you found that helpful. Now it's pile number 4. And let's see, pile number 4. Let's see if the person you're thinking of is trustworthy. Let's see what the cards have to say. Let's see what I pick up from these cards. Okay, so 2 of Pentacles upright. 4 of interesting. Already we're getting some pentacle, lots of pentacle energy. Interesting. 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, both upright. Page of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. And we've got 8 of Cups. Oh, interesting. 2 pentacles beside each other, 2 cups beside each other. I'm curious what the last 2 cards are going to be. Let's see. Make sure they're on the right in the frame, because I'd like you to be able to see the cards. Let's see what you get, or what I get. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the cards. Let's see. What are the last cards? We've got Temperance. Interesting. Temperance. Temperance. And Page of Pentacles. So I'm immediately getting, the first thing I got from this was alcohol problems and ungrounded. So this person, they may not be very much able to, with the Page of Cups upright, they may not be trustworthy in the sense that they're able to connect to the minute details of life. Because it's interesting, we've got the Page of Cups upright and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And with Page of Cups tends to be kind of, they can be a sweet character, but they're a little bit, they get overcome with their emotions. They can be a tad emotionally immature. They can be, so I hear that this person has a trouble finding their grounding and their balance in life. I got, yes, that's right. I got a check mark. Yes. Okay, so they really have a trouble getting their groundedness in life and their balance. They really have a trouble doing that, and then the Page of Pentacles, that's somebody who's focusing. My thinking is, like, Page of Pentacles in reverse, they have a difficult time connecting to, shall we say, the minute details of life, and they have a tendency to run from responsibility. That's what I'm hearing. They sort of run from things when they get hurtful, when things get serious, and I'm hearing that could be hurtful. They tend to run when things, run away with the 8 of Cups. See, someone's leaving. They tend to sort of like run away when things get serious, or when things get really kind of intense. So they don't really, I'm hearing they don't really have a way to process their emotions. And they could have a tendency, we've got this Temperance card, they have a tendency towards alcoholism. I got that strongly, because temperance, we need to temper something, right, in our life. When we've got, oftentimes it's like something that's a little bit, so I got with the water cards, like just sort of, they go to alcohol when they have a difficult time processing their emotions. I hear, and then they have a difficult time sort of connecting to the minute details of life. They may say that they're going to do something, and they don't do it. So that's what I'm hearing. They may say they're going to do something and not do it, and they just kind of, they run away. 8 of Cups. Their emotions are too much to handle, and they run away. And I'm hearing, although they're not necessarily a bad person, I mean, that's not necessary. That is not, like, I mean, sociopathy. It's not, an evil person. Definitely not an evil person. It's also, it could make them unsafe to people around them. The fact that that they run away when things are difficult. They have a difficult time, like, connecting with the minute, details of life, if you will. And they have a difficult time grounding and stability. And it's sort of like some people, when they're distressed, sometimes they'll fight and yell and become really difficult, right? But this person, their tendency is to run away. Because, you've heard about the fight, the flight, freeze, and fawn. Well, I hear that instead of this person fighting, they take flight. They have a tendency to take flight because they don't know how to process their emotions. They don't know how to juggle their emotions with the Two of Pentacles. You see that they're juggling. The person's juggling here. And they don't know how to ground. They don't need to find that groundedness so that they can sort of connect to the minute details of life. With the Page of Pentacles reversed, they don't know how to do that. It's like they lack the software, and maybe they want to have the software to do that, but they don't. They lack the software, and they go to alcohol. They definitely go to alcohol, and I'm hearing that with alcohol, they could. It's just not a good really habit to have, right? Going to alcohol, right? It's not really good to go to alcohol, right? No, there's no judgment for it, right? Because we all have our coping mechanisms, if you will. But I don't think that, you know. So I just had to take a drink of water. But it's I don't think that. So it's not an evil bad person. Just it's a person that has a difficult time with groundedness, a difficult time with groundedness with their emotions, and then they run away. They need to temper their alcohol addiction, and they like have a difficult connecting to the minutia of life, if you will. So let's see any more cards I can get in regards to this person's trustworthiness. Okay, the World. And I hear that this person, they have a difficult time connecting to the world because of this. That could be you, that could be the people in their world. They have a difficult time, so it's kind of, I feel a little bad for this person actually. Like they have a difficult time connecting to the world. Nine of Pentacles. They have a difficult, yeah, it goes with the Pentacles over here. They have a difficult time completion because Nine of Pentacles is almost, right? They have a difficult time grounding into this reality and strength. Yeah, so I hear that they're lacking the inner strength to do this, to kind of bring things to completion and to connect. And they have a difficult time because of their emotions, their unprocessed emotions. And I hear somebody who plays the guitar. Interesting. That just popped into my mind. So I don't know if that could be him, them, him, you. I don't know. I just got the image of a guitar playing. So, but it's or something along artistic guitar like playing type thing, like very much artistic guitar like playing. And yeah, and I hear they need to find their inner strength to overcome their demons, their and it could be pot addiction too, but more alcohol. I just got alcohol, something along those lines of like alcohol, some sort of escapism, as alcohol or some form of escapism. I hear we go to that, and it's they I'm hearing something from the Gypsy Oracle deck. Okay, Melody. Like they feel like they're constantly emotionally ill, and they don't know why. They have a lot of trouble with themselves. I hear they really have a lot of trouble with themselves. They that's what I keep on hearing, like emotional malady. I hear that they're just fractured actually inside, and I just feel kind of bad for this person. Haughtiness, and I feel that they feel that they're surrounded by a lot of haughty, judgmental people. Like they don't feel all right around people, and which is why they go to the alcohol addiction. I hear like they don't feel like maybe it could be something at work or something, and they feel like they don't feel all right around people, and that leads to all these. They feel like everyone is the enemy. Like I feel like almost. I feel like almost like yeah. That then the Page of Cups comes up, and then they may make you into the enemy. They may feel that you're haughty. Even they may feel like you're haughty, or you're the enemy, or other people are haughty and they're the enemy. If that makes sense, or people at work are haughty and they're. I hope I'm saying that right. Haughty. Like you know what I mean. Like They feel they just feel kind of defensive around people. And when they feel defensive around people, when they feel that they can't find the groundedness, they can't find their balance, no groundedness, no balance, so they run off to alcohol, and the details of their life go to shit. Basically, that's what I'm getting. I hope um, yeah, I hope that is maybe one more card. I'll pull one more card. So let's see one more card so I can just gain more clarity situation. Maybe so resting. I'm hearing maybe you want to take a rest from this person. I feel that this person, or that you may feel like you want to rest after being around this person because they're a little bit too much here. They don't mean to be. I'm hearing like they don't. It's not their intention. I'm hearing, but they're too much. They don't mean to be too much is what I hear, but they kind of are too much, if that makes any sense. Like but it's due to their own internal demons that they have to face. They need to find their balance. They need to find their grounding, and they need to do some truce instead of just running away, right? Because this card, Eight of Cups, I mean, the whole idea is to do spiritual searching, that you move forward beyond something. But I hear this person, instead of they run away, like this guy, he's going away, but they don't do the spiritual searching. I hear, and they need to do that in order to sort of quell their various addictions. Right? They need to bring healing to their different addictions or different demons with the Temperance card. Interesting. Yeah, and it's I'm also hearing they may, in some cases, when they drink alcohol, they might become like sort of like skirt chasing, promiscuous a little bit, like another personality comes up, and that's not all for some, but for some, I hear that could be an issue, but it's sort of like they're just kind of a broken person. I hear that has these issues that are kind of difficult to deal with. Like difficult for you just want to rest with them because they're just so exhausting to be around, even though they don't necessarily mean to be that way, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's all we get for pile number 4. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope that was of use to you. Maybe give it a like and a comment if you this resonated, and you may want to check out my playlist section to see if it's worth it for you to subscribe. I've got a playlist called Are They Trustworthy, which is about this very topic, the same format. And so you may want to test other people, go to that playlist and see, are they trustworthy? Because it's important to know if people are trustworthy. So that's why I do this playlist, because I think it's kind of important. But yeah, and then I've got a playlist on karma, cats, pets, narcissistic abuse, um, past lives, a variety of different topics. So you may want to check that out and see if it's worth it for you to subscribe to this channel. But that's all we got for pile number 4. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.